Yoshi's Safari is probably the same age as me. Let's see what month it released in. I'm older than Yoshi's Safari!
I've never even heard of that game.
What an accomplishment.
I was trying to see if Yoshi Safari did the Light World and Dark World thing before Link to the Past did.
No, Link to the Past is 91.
Damn it. That would have been amazing.
Wait, there's a fucking Light World and a Dark World in Yoshi's Safari?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know I had to do it to him.
What?
Yoshi Safari is the Light World and a Dark World.
Welcome back to the SMW Central Podcast number 5. Today we are learning about Yoshi's Safari, apparently.
Correct.
This is the Yoshi Safari episode.
Which is completely different than anything we had planned.
You just listened to a fun little looping piece of music there you could use for an overworld or something. A little wintry theme. It's very nice.
Oh yeah. The intro music. It's
Member of the Month.
White Album 2. Track is Holy Night, and it's by TCDW, who is our member of the month this month.
Correct.
Yep.
My brain kind of ignored the White Album 2, and I was like, oh, Holy Night. It's like Silent Night, right? But no.
No.
Nope.
No.
It's wrong.
It's Holy Diver instead.
Now,
that makes so much more
are you
sense.
gonna put a Christmas Carol on the next episode?
Absolutely.
Sorry, wait. I mean Holiday Carol. This is STW Central after all, but we don't have Christmas.
Oh,
we only have
no.
holidays on
Christmas
STW Central.
Burn down the Christmas music.
We've got Tai Tai with us again today.
Welcome back, Tai Tai.
He had a Christmas party. Office party. Christmas party.
Oh.
Yeah.
I had one of those.
He won a KitchenAid.
Yeah!
And got a bread hook, too. He's very happy about that.
I'm gonna make so much
Nice.
fucking bread you don't even know.
Oh. Yeah, how's everybody else doing?
Pretty good. Catching up on homeworks and the likes.
Yeah, it's
hungover.
Just in time for the holidays.
It's finals.
Very hungover.
It's almost finals for me, too.
I had to sell my spare PlayStation controlled food, but I'll be fine.
I was like, wow, why is everyone talking about finals right now? And it's like, oh, my finals are in the week of the 12th or whatever.
I'm sorry that you are literally selling your belongings for food right now, Impetus.
That's just the way life goes.
Remember when you said you'd have a new microphone for this one? Good times.
Yeah, well, then
no.
eating got in the way, I assume.
Yeah, survival kind of took precedent.
Yeah, it's like that whole pyramid of survival and stuff like that. Basic
The
needs.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it shouldn't be as bad in a couple of weeks. So it's like the last hurdle, I guess.
Well, I hope you get through it soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. Everyone hopes they get through it so I can get a mic that doesn't sound like shit.
No, I don't even care about the mic. I hope you get through it all soon, so that you are not selling your belongings so that you can eat.
I mean, that's a nice thought.
Well,
it should be better in a couple of weeks, hopefully.
all right.
I might even have a new mic by Christmas.
The lowest of priorities, but maybe.
Well, it's not really a lowest priority because I want to try doing streaming as well as someone, and I need a decent mic to do all of that stuff. I might not be able to get like the desktop mic, but I might end up getting like a headset with a mic that's got like noise cancelling and stuff, so that should be okay for recording, streaming, and that kind of thing.
That's fair.
Even if it isn't perfect for like recording other kinds of content, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm like, oh, I want to record a YouTube video that's like, I have to buy a camera and a proper mic.
You don't need a camera.
Other things. So
you want a face cam?
Don't do a face cam. Those are dumb.
No, I mean like if
but you're a girl, you gotta capitalize on it.
I mean like if I want to do like actual sort of whatever style YouTube videos, like like the classic YouTube
little
style
vlog things. Yeah.
Pro Jared, Peanut Butter Gamer, that kind of thing. Like,
I guess. I've never cared much for the whole face cams and vlog style.
I always like the sort of the recorded sort of content, like AVGN and all of that stuff. Like I always like that style.
Effort YouTube.
I have a lot of inspiration from it, so like maybe one day I'll do something like that.
Okay.
Money.
Anyway, let's get into the podcast proper. Let's start with some site news. The first topic is the mosts have begun. Are they? I know they're not lasting as long as they usually do. Sometimes they've lasted for like a whole month almost. I think it's, what is it, 2 or 3 weeks this time? How much?
Nobody knows.
I tweeted about it.
But the deadline is December the 10th.
Refer to
So-
Twitter for info.
Oh, so
yeah,
there's
it's about,
1
it's
week
about
left.
2 weeks. So
Okay.
if you're listening to this podcast and you didn't know the most were there, or
Hopefully
still
this is
need to
going
vote.
out in the next couple of days, but I'm
yeah,
worried about it.
unless this is really late podcast, you never know.
Yeah, I know. I'm worried about time.
But
My week is going to be
In
pretty
theory,
darn
when
busy.
this goes up, you have like a couple of days left to vote. So this is your notice.
I still need to vote.
I haven't
I'm
done
tempted.
most voting in like years, so
I have not
just
had that on my list of things to do.
I have the post with all the categories in. I'm tempted to just submit that until I can actually vote.
is it in one of your 50 tabs?
Yeah. I actually have a tab right now because we were talking about Yoshi Safari of Spriter's Resource Yoshi Safari. So
That's fair.
I mean, last year I got like 3 months, but I don't think I'm going to get any this year. So
I'm not gonna get any.
Me neither.
Like 4 people have voted for me.
I think I've had
So-
like 6.
yeah, I guess it's because
I think I got. I know
guess
I got
it's
one
'cause
for best avatar, and I'm very
back
thankful
in the
for that.
olden days on IRC, I was more well known. But Discord has ruined my reputation. That's
I do
my
know that.
excuse.
I do know that Tai Tai and I. Somebody voted us for cutest couple or whatever that category is called this
Yeah,
year.
but we were never gonna win that one because there's too many other couples on the site.
It's true, but it's very funny, and I appreciate whoever did that.
I really love how your avatars are looking at each other as if you're a real couple bickering.
Is that so? Because
Yeah,
for me, we're both
In my
looking-
order.
we're both just staring you down instead.
yeah. I'm kind of interloping. I could imagine.
Like
Well, I can-
everyone's staring at Zero down from you.
Do-do-do. I don't know if this will update live, but hold on.
Changing your Discord avatar. You're gonna make me
Uh,
work.
Mine is a Christmas hat, so if you dare add that on to the podcast image, then good luck.
You're gonna
it's not
have
the
to.
HD version.
You're gonna have to give me a Christmas hat. Shit.
Well, I used
He did it.
Hatbot to do it.
I'm gonna have to work.
I can't even
now
discern.
we're really staring Ivy down.
Anyway, this is all visual gags in an audio podcast.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to parse that.
Yeah. Let's move. Let's move on. Just a thing. Holiday colors kind of went up at the same time. I don't know
Snow
exactly
lag.
when. Oh yeah, the snow too. Don't forget, you can turn off the snow effect if you really don't want it by
If you
going
have a
into
netbook
announcements.
from like 2000.
Yeah. The holiday names did not go live at the exact same time. I think probably because the Halloween names were we had some issues with Halloween names, and so we're
People-
just reducing the amount of time that the
Reduced them.
holiday names are going to be active for. But don't worry, they'll still be active for like at least a week before Christmas and stuff like that. So not a big deal. Next was Blind Devil was promoted to ASM mod.
Grats.
Yep, congrats to them. And yeah, it was just because we had been considering reaching out to them even before the staff applications, but they were having some issues in real life and were not able to accept such a position at the time. So now they are more able to do their job. And so, yeah, we reached out to them and offered them a position. So there we go. So congratulations to Blind Devil. There is a EXGFX contest planned. It's supposed to be happening this month or so. I don't know the theming of it exactly, but I'm assuming it'll probably have a winter theme just because of the time period that we're in. But I'm not positive.
I can't wait to enter a contest to actually have a chance of winning.
Yeah, I know.
Love me some pixel art.
But so look for that coming soon. And yeah, we'll see when that happens exactly. C3 is probably about a month away at this point, because I think we're looking to do it in January, so this is just a reminder that C3 is coming up. And so if you're looking to be showing off anything at the event, this is your 1 month warning or just reminder that it's happening.
Totally feels like the summer one was just yesterday, but here we are.
Man, I've already been hired for almost 5 months.
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing.
Crikey.
Time is really flying by.
I don't even remember when I became YouTube
You know
boy,
what they
quote
say,
unquote.
time flies by when you're having fun with friends.
I guess so. I'm having fun.
Yep.
And the last thing on site news is just it looks like there's going to be some good news on VLDCX very soon. So,
oh boy,
if not by the time that this podcast goes out, then shortly thereafter.
And the bad news has already been posted. Half of
hell
it's
yeah.
going to be on the cutting room floor. So.
Yeah. Sorry, the collab hack is not really happening in the same way that everybody would hope for a
Rest
variety of
in-
reasons. You
rest
can
in
go and
peace,
look
collab.
in the VLDCX forum, subforum, to find some reasons why and some impassioned argument back and forth about our decisions.
I mean, unless
And Wyvern does have judging
you, the
videos.
listener, wants to make the collab entirely on your own, in which case
There's someone out there
nobody can stop
can
you.
be Vitor.
Yeah, it's mostly just a problem with we don't have anybody who's really available to or has the knowledge to make the collab hack happen at this point. So, it's a disappointment, but we'll see what we can do.
It's just how it is.
I mean, for 6 consecutive years, the Super Mario World Central level design contest, not even the VLDC, didn't have a collab.
Mhm.
It wasn't until 7 that they made it a collab. And it's not that, it's a contest first, a collab second to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, it's not that bad news to me. If someone wants to play all the entries, they're still probably gonna have a zip of all the patches, and you can just download and play them all.
Yeah.
It's not that big a deal.
Yep. And I think, I don't know, I'm going to go on a limb here and say maybe Raokai will do that as well. Because he's
if you're
very
one of those-
adamant about playing every level.
I mean,
If you're one of the people who enters contests just to see him play your level, he'll probably still play it.
Yep.
yeah.
So you can count on that.
But at the same time, I'd hope people enter contests because they
It's a
actually
wake-up
want
call
to win
to
contests.
do more effort.
There's going to
Yeah.
be some changes for future contests. VLDC 11 when it happens, if it happens, when it happens. We'll
This is my
probably
first-
definitely have some changes to it.
I wouldn't say enter contests to win. I personally enter them primarily as to get feedback on a level, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
This is
fair.
like-
That's fair. There's
Yeah,
multiple reasons
like-
to enter it.
But entering just so you can watch someone play it is kind of... Or entering just for being in the collab, I guess, is a better way to put it.
I don't know. Obviously, we don't have any
I-
statistics on how many people do that,
Oh,
but
hell no.
I'm sure it's not an insignificant percent of people.
I mean, consider how X specifically was also hyped up. A lot of people probably were entering just to get in on the collab because it's the 10th anniversary, it's an important number, stuff like that.
True.
Could be. It could be. We'll see what goes
I mean,
on.
You don't
in the
want to
future.
assume the worst. Like, these people are probably they're genuinely trying to make the best that they can, but then it's like,
Yeah.
well, either they don't spend enough time, or it's just like, eh.
Yeah,
Well,
just
I know
because you're
it's
entering,
subpar.
just because you enter because you want to see somebody play, it doesn't mean that you aren't putting all your effort into it.
that
Certainly.
too. But back when I was in university, contests would consistently line up with finals and midterms. I don't know how they managed it, but they always did.
I mean, I didn't have finals and midterms in February.
But like,
Of course, it
It's
also
like-
also seemed like you always had finals and midterms like the entire year long. Just
maybe it's
This is my
the classes I took.
quartile term
maybe.
exam.
all I know is I was like, "Hey Ty,
Well,
you
no,
want
like-
to do something?" And he's like, "I have finals and midterms."
Well, like
Both.
the calc classes would have 2 midterms and a final,
That's stupid.
right? So
Yeah, that's how math be.
math is stupid. Fuck math.
Dude, the statistics class that I'm taking is so
Statistics.
delightful. It's like freshman level. It's fun. It's just all computer stuff. It's great.
If we
Anyways.
if we do VLDC 11 next year, it's probably going to be pushed. I'm pushing to make it start like closer to summer.
Yeah, it's not being nothing's being initiated in the winter, besides like a
Yeah.
C3.
Because I think we're going to need time to finish up whatever we do with VLDCX.
There may be a
collab.
holdover contest, but it's kind of hush-hush right now.
There's murmurs about the revengeance of chocolate level design
Yeah.
contests.
Yeah.
Because chocolate always has a way lower turnout, and there's not a lot of work involved besides judging, so...
Yeah.
We would need someone to host and lead it. So.
We're in
Everyone-
basically we're in planning stages
Everyone wants to
for
enter.
alternative.
Oh,
What is happening?
oh no!
What?
What was that?
I remember to turn off
that
my
was-
phone.
Yeah, no, that was me. I forgot about that.
Mine's on silent.
Mine's on vibrate at worst. My ringtone
Mine's
is like,
on
I've not heard it in
vibrate,
years.
and I threw it onto my bed.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good sound dampener.
Yeah.
Well, if mine was on ring, you'd hear the Sonic drowning music. So
I literally forgot my ringtone. My alarm is the Red Boy Genius intro music.
I'm gonna call you right now, Ty. I'm not gonna do that.
no, that would be expensive for both of us.
It would be. And also, you said it's on mute.
Expensive.
Anyway, so yeah, there's some contest stuff being planned that is not necessarily next year's VLDC, and so we'll see what happens.
Last is just a little call out to Taylor. Let's finish this Pokemon contest. That's
Oi.
it.
What,
Yeah,
do you guys
it's
have to
almost
fight
done.
again?
You know, I'm gonna
Not
beat
me.
I'm gonna
I'm already
probably
dead.
beat Gloomy, and then I'm probably gonna lose immediately.
Yeah,
so
that's-
it doesn't really matter what happens from
that's
here.
the like 1 to 2 bet right there. So
Actually-
yeah,
Yeah, FB0, have you thought about hosting CLDC?
No.
Is that just the
I
most
wanna-
ever doing it?
I see. The thing is,
I have something else I'd be interested in.
Idol wanted me to judge it like months ago when it was first on planning, and then I'm like, no, I want to enter, and she was like, shit.
So everyone
She
wants
wants
to
to enter
enter.
too.
everyone likes
Yeah.
to partake.
Actually,
But if
I'll
you
partake.
judge,
So
then you get the
CLDC
unwritten
news,
privilege of judge
everybody
levels.
wants to enter, even the Metroid hacker.
Even the judges. Anyway, so yeah, contests in the future. We'll see what happens. Let's get
All
out of the
time.
news. Let's and go into gaming because we kind of got a smaller show, I guess, today. So we're gonna bring back the gaming segment from 2 episodes ago.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So yeah, what have people been playing lately? What have you all been doing? Other than like
I've
trying to
been-
survive.
I've been playing modded Minecraft,
Oh,
very, very slowly working through the Direwolf 1.12 pack.
there's 1.12 mods.
Is that any
Yeah.
good?
Oh my goodness.
It's fine. It just doesn't have Ender IO.
I never really got
But
into
I
that.
don't.
I thought Ender.io was like diligent at updating, but I guess not.
Oh no,
Or
it's
it's
just
not
it
included.
is, but it's just not. It wasn't out when the pack was put together.
Sad.
All it means is there's no conduits. But
I mean,
who needs conduits when you have thermal expansion pipes?
I still
Like, they do the
loved
same thing.
1.7 mods and stuff like that,
But
but
my goal for this playthrough is to automate production of a Pam's Harvest Craft BBQ platter, which recovers apparently your entire food bar and 23 bars of saturation.
oh my gosh.
I don't even know what the numbers mean for saturation.
But that's a lot of food, so I want to automate that.
That's
That's
nifty.
my
Doesn't
end
it have that like micro nanobot mod that can keep you saturated permanently? It's OP.
I don't think Direwolves has that.
Oh, I
because-
that one. It would just shove a pork down your throat whenever you need like
They like
Half a
dissolve
heart-
pork
heart-
molecules
yeah.
and inject them into your bloodstream.
Yeah, that one's common on like Skyblocks and stuff.
modular
Yeah.
power suits.
Oh, I missed modular power systems. I haven't seen it in mod packs for a while.
I don't think it's been updated. A lot of the stuff we used to
Hmm.
use has not been updated, I'm sure.
Well, let me check actually.
I know you hated it because of the world gen, but I
1.7
really
is
liked
like-
Red Power. I really
I-
liked
I-
Red Power.
Dude, yeah, I love those little like bundled cables. Those are really cute.
Red Power was great Red Power World was awful, and you were forced to include it whenever you wanted to use Red Power, and that's why I didn't like Red Power as a whole.
Literally, like, I just use sticky redstone now. It'll work.
Modular Power Suits hasn't been updated since October, and it's on 1.10.
Okay.
Oh, that's not bad.
I was going to mention how Ars Arcana has never been updated, and that was like a real shame because that was one of the coolest mods. But apparently someone's actually updated it now, so that's
the Ars
cool.
Magica stuff, or I guess
Ars
might have been a
Magica.
predecessor.
The Ars Magica one, the one where you make your own spells.
Ars Magica.
It's really cool. Like you could make your own spells and stuff by like putting building blocks together and building your own spells, that kind of thing.
That's neat. I never really got into it.
Got, like,
there were quite a few of the magic ones.
Well.
A lot of the magic ones I never really got into.
Yeah, I only did like Thumbcraft.
I've honestly
once.
only really played with magic mods. I've never really been into tech mods that much.
What are your thoughts on Botania?
Yeah, no, the only magic mod I've gone into is Botania, because when I was playing Project Ozone on my own, I went ham into Agricraft and Flowers and ham into Botania.
Botania is really cool.
I played Regrowth, that requires you to learn Botania, and I learned that pretty well, and the Agricraft system in it was really simple to use and powerful. Regrowth actually turned out to be a pretty fun one to do. I didn't finish it because it took a long time, and I didn't have all the time anymore. But I got pretty far through. I think I got all the way up to doing mechanism stuff. I liked those mod packs that like give you rewards for completing quests and things like that. Those were a lot of fun.
Yeah, the quests are always interesting.
Yeah, that's the sort of Minecraft that I like to play these days. I can't do it if there's no like goal for me, and I'm bad at setting my own goals.
I used to be bad at setting my own goals, but then I eventually just find an item in like the item list, and I'm like, I want to make lots and lots and lots of that. Like, I think playing Factorio fixed my brain on, because like I had the same problem. I needed something to guide me through it, but now that like I've played Factorio, I'm like, I can just see something. I'm like, I want to automate making that.
Yeah, and
that can be a goal for me in a Minecraft mod pack.
Yeah. I mean, you really enjoyed playing Factorio and automating a lot of stuff. You were the best at it.
I got so hooked on that.
Yeah. I never got to launch a rocket because I didn't know. I never played it on my own.
And then I ended up making an automated system to like tell trains to go to different stations depending on how much ore those stations individually have.
Yeah, I didn't get into the trains at all. That was all you. I did a little bit of just smaller automation stuff, mostly the fluids.
The train seemed like a big component.
Yeah.
If you're playing regular, just playing Factorio as it is, you don't ever need to go into trains, because even though there will be some far off ore patches, you should have enough around you to just launch a rocket.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you need to go into trains for oil, but that's about it. And you could just do a single train for that.
I always found the first game we played with all the normal settings, and we found the oil spawns were so far and bad, and so every game I've played since has been with like huge amounts of oil spawning.
And then here I have a mod installed that changes the terrain gen so that all the ore patches are really, really, really far apart, so you have to use trains.
Interesting.
Because I like playing with the trains, it's just they take a while to get set up.
It's a fun game.
How does that even work early game?
You probably gotta wander around, I imagine.
Yeah.
It's a fun game. I'd like to play it more again. But again, I don't really play it without somebody else. So, Actually, we never played after they did the update with uranium and all that stuff. So it would be cool.
We did not.
It would be cool to go back and give it another shot.
Revisit.
Yeah. What have I been playing? I really haven't been playing much. Since the last podcast, I guess I finished Odyssey. I got all of the moons that I could. Fantastic game, honestly.
Yes, I still don't own it.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going into details on it.
One day we can do like an Odyssey episode.
I've already spoiled myself to what the final boss is.
Like, so if we all finally play Odyssey, we can do an Odyssey episode.
Have I been doing anything else? Because I don't want to go into Odyssey. I don't want to talk about Odyssey because spoilers for people in this chat, as well as potentially our listeners. I downloaded Has Been Heroes for the Switch. It's kind of like a roguelite style game. It's hard. You have 3 heroes basically, and like 3 lanes to attack from. Enemies will slowly come towards you on each lane. You have to. Each hero attacks a certain number of times with their melee attack, and each enemy has like a certain number of defenses. If you match the number of melee attacks from a hero onto the number of defenses that they have, it'll stun them, which will allow you to then hit them with another hero for added damage and knockback. Because when they reach you as they come down the lanes, that's when they attack you. And honestly, like, taking 1 or 2 attacks from enemies is enough to kill a dude in your party. And if anybody dies, you're game over.
Oof.
Yeah.
So it's like tower defense without towers?
The towers are your heroes, basically.
Yeah.
Now, you do have spells.
So it's just defense.
I guess so. But it has randomized elements and stuff like that. Tons of
Nifty.
different... Kind of like Isaac in terms of the number of unlocks and stuff like that.
Oh.
But I don't think it's anything... they're not, like, as...
game-changing.
At least not the ones that I've found. So maybe it's kind of like Isaac's early game, where, you know, you have to keep unlocking stuff as you go. I haven't really gotten very far in it. I've beaten 1 boss, and I've gotten to a second world. It's hard, but it's pretty interesting, because you can shift characters in their lanes. So you, like, send one guy out down the lane really far to hit a guy, and then it'll pause, and you can shift their lane so that when they come back, they will fly back through the enemies that are in the other lane and cause damage to them too.
A blast.
But yeah, it can be a little bit tricky, because if you don't get the number of defenses or like melee strikes right against their defenses, like if you hit them more times, you'll only do a little bit of damage and knock them back only a little bit of the way. Or if you don't do enough, they will still have a bit of defense left over, which is fine, because let's say somebody has 3, your guy who does 3 attacks is currently on cooldown. You can hit them with the guy who does 2, and then the guy who does 1 to break their defenses and stun them. So, and then do a follow-up afterward. It's interesting. I gotta put a little bit more time into it, but it's a little bit hard to get into right now. I'm kind of learning as I go.
Precise with the math, like you have to stun with the exact amount of offense. It seems a little strange.
I mean, it makes it like, you know, the characters always have the same number of melee attacks that they'll do, and the enemy defenses are very clearly called out with these green boxes. Okay. So you just have to do some matching.
Yep.
But it's more of a challenge to move your characters around and like stop the flow of enemies that are coming at you. I don't think there's a demo for it, but there's, trailers and stuff. I actually got to play it for the first time before the Switch came out. There were these preview events that Nintendo was doing, and I got to go to one, and it was pretty cool. I got to play it there. Anyway, yeah, that's about all I've been playing, other than just LP-related stuff, recordings and things like that. So, who else? Neat. Who else? What else has been going on?
I've actually played a lot of games in the past 3 weeks. Yeah. Like, I played Evil Land 2, which is, 6.5 out of 10. Not as good as I expected.
I know that
the rating.
I haven't played it, but I saw somebody play. I saw someone play through the first one. It was interesting. Interesting idea.
Yeah, it's like the sequel to that. It's got a lot of genre switching all the way through. It's like it's built like a Legend of Zelda game, but it's got it'll have a beat 'em up segment, side scrolling segment, shoot 'em up segments, card game segments, puzzle game segments. You get the general idea. And
it's near.
There's like some pretty cool puzzles as well with like time switching and all that kind of thing. But especially on the second half, it's really unpolished. Just like lots of like spelling mistakes that haven't really been changed.
Oof.
Objects that you can walk through, and it's like they haven't even updated
No
it,
click.
and that bit's kind of disappointing.
Hmm.
And some of the late game bosses, like their attack patterns, are like Super Mario World Center Production 1 random bullshit that isn't actually fun to fight against.
Oh no.
Yeah, like it's like the bosses would fit right in SMWC 1.
Toad and Nikki.
It'd fit right in.
Oh god, never again.
There's one boss that has like this grab attack that like takes away half of your HP. Usually he's only supposed to use the grab attack at a long range, so you get into like the idea of okay, I can beat him at long range. That works sometimes, but like sometimes he'll use it at close range anyway, and you can't avoid it.
Yikes.
Sometimes when you're behind him, he will use it, and it will grab you from behind him, even though he's facing in the opposite direction. This often happens exactly as he gets up, with like no like wind up animation or anything.
Nice.
He like
Sniped.
he punches in like one direction, and he'll do like combo punches. So you're like, okay, well, while he's doing that combo punch, I can behind him. But sometimes he'll randomly decide to turn around and punch you in the face, just like breaking his own combos. So yeah, it's just like basically random. His weak points are random in essence, and it was took me like several. I think it took me like an hour to beat that boss, but I wasn't. I wasn't turning difficulty down because I put it on top. I put it on the high difficulty, and I was going to live with my decision.
That's
Honorable.
gross. The only time I've ever fought a boss that took an hour was when I played Tales of the Abyss on like a harder difficulty, and I had 3 other people playing with me, and we fought the secret final extra boss or whatever.
Ooh.
Like they had like 600 and something thousand HP. We were in that fight for like 40 minutes.
Yikes.
The only boss that took me an hour was Toad and Iki from our Central Production.
Oh.
I had Game Shark codes on, and I still couldn't beat that boss because
Crush
it
damage.
insta-killed you. And then you have an HP bar, so Game Shark invincibility, like, always have a cape code doesn't work, plus there's crush damage. Like, I don't get it.
You just can't win.
Can't win.
Yeah,
I mean,
we weren't.
the actual fight was about like 5 minutes long to beat him, but like it was the amount of extra attempts I had to take that took me so long.
It didn't make any sense. Why spin jumping on fuzzies, then throwing them? That's never something that you do in any Mario game, or even in the hack. We made bad decisions.
Mind blown.
We made bad decisions.
So, just awaiting SMWC 1.5, the revival project.
No, just delete all the bosses, half the levels, and just release it.
SMWC 0.5, but it's still better.
just randomly parse through all the screens and delete half of them.
SMWCP1 was kind of like a VIP style of hack where most of the levels didn't really have much to do with each other and the quality varied like crazy. Production,
Yeah, it was just people. It was just like basically everyone's like, "Oh, we're making a collab. Here's a level."
Yeah, which that's all we were looking for at the time.
I mean,
Production 2 was a response to that, in that we wanted to make a more flowing,
upholding the quality standards.
a more
polished
and quote unquote professional style of game.
And that went too far in the other direction, and there's been too much.
Oh, and now
time
Idol
spent
is like
on it.
enforcing it, so it's gonna happen.
I mean,
Either she dies or it gets released.
We'll
at
see.
least the music was good.
oh, the music's still
The
great.
music's good.
And
the graphics are pretty good, though some are inconsistent at times. But yeah,
I'm gonna be a bit prideful here. My levels are good.
mine too.
My level is terrible. But fortunately, they spelt my old username wrong in the credits, so can't link it back to me anymore.
Great.
I'm watching out my
I
window
had-
as somebody goes to park, and it looks like they're about to go back into
I don't,
another car.
actually,
It's
I don't
great.
think there's I've only been in 2 collabs, but I don't think. But in both
You got a dash
collabs,
cam on that?
there's been an error in one of my levels or something to do with me. It's never been fixed. Like in SMWC P1, my name's spelled incorrectly in the credits, and in VLDC 9 collab, Jack never fixed the sparkles in Subterranean Glow. It's like in Subterranean Glow, you can see like these little bits of garbage in the background. Those are supposed to be invisible, and they're supposed to turn into sparkles when you pick up a star, but Jack never fixed that, so I guess the winning level just has garbage in the background now. I guess that's official.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, neither did I.
I mean,
Oh well.
I guess you wouldn't notice if you didn't know there was supposed to be those things in the background to begin with.
The garbage implies like a very high density of stars. It's like a little nebula.
The garbage implies quality. Ah,
It's, I mean, they're like these little like grey lines that blend up in the background, so they are hard to notice if you don't look for them.
Let me go.
what about you,
Let's go to
Ivy?
YouTube.
What else have you
Oh, I
been
hear some
playing?
clicking. Well, not much new here. I played the new Pokemon game for 3 days, and I haven't played it since because I've been busy. So that's how it is. the early game is like almost unchanged. So
it's changed.
it won't hook you instantly.
I think the
If
big
you
changes
are
are
looking for a
like
new
what you can
experience.
catch.
Yeah,
the
there's
big-
some more diversity too,
it's-
which I've been
it's-
ignoring because I have a living dex. So
The problem to me is that basically it's a third version, but they split it in two. It really
Yeah.
should have just been it's the Emerald of the Sun and
They
Moon.
did that with
It
Black
should
and
have
White 2
been
as well, and it was
one.
really annoying.
Well, no, Black and White 2 they was a sequel, and that's why that worked for those games. But Ultra Sun and Moon is the third version.
although they do have the 2 complementary new forms for the box legendaries,
That's stupid. It should have just been.
I don't know how you only
slapped
have one.
Necrozma on the box.
Just put them
Problem
both. Just
solved.
put them both in the same thing.
No. Put Rayquaza on the box.
Oh, you could just determine
So that.
just determine it based on your player character's
Import-
sex. I don't know.
Import your Delta Rayquaza into
I mean-
Ultra Stars and combine
Ultra Star.
it Rayquaza with
That's-
Necrozma.
That's the
right?
thing, because they did exactly the same thing as they did in Black and White, because Black and White had the third one having a Pokemon that absorbs the other Pokemon,
Yeah,
and this
but
one
that was a
has
sequel. And
Pokemon absorbing the other Pokemon. They're doing exactly the same thing. It's the same Pokemon thing recycled.
yeah,
Also, it's great that the Dawn Wings form is so bad that it might drop to OU like good old Kieran Black. So it would be really
That's
cute.
amazing.
they would be friends in OU.
So I opened up our VLDC 9 video just to check, and yes, I can see them if I'm specifically looking for them.
Told you.
Verified.
I'll look at it later.
Biff verified.
It's still really not noticeable to me though, so it's not that big a deal.
I'm a little salty because Dawn Wings looks awesome, but its stats and typing is just nasty. But it has great moves, but it's so slow that it has to take a hit.
I never use
It's
the
not
legendaries in the games, so it's not that big a deal to me.
I imported a Giratina. I've probably already talked about this, and I've been
Did you
using
import
it
a
in
level
Celebi.
1 or 5 Giratina from
Level 1,
I mean-
from the Hall.
Sparkle Soul
From
Silver?
the, yeah.
I mean,
that event.
even if Dawn Wings is OU, Ultra Necrozma is totally going to be anything goes.
Oh yeah, they'll ban Ultra Necrozium, easy. That's not a problem.
And all Pokemon.
I mean, I'm still honestly expecting it to end up in anything goes with Rayquaza.
I don't know if Ultra Boy is gonna get up there.
It has,
It's not like-
I mean, only Mega Rayquaza has that high of a base stat total, and Neuroforce is a pretty good move. Ability.
Its ability is mediocre, unlike Rayquaza's.
Is it
I
even
mean-
obtainable?
You have to mega, well, not really mega, but you have to form change from
I
one of
mean,
the lesser
mean-
base forms. But it does instantly update the speed stats, so you can kind of...
yeah,
try
like
to
it's got
switch.
like a huge speed, and
It goes from 77 speed to 140 or something. It's kind of nuts.
you can run mix sets on it, and you get like a 200 base power move as well as your Mega Evolution. Like you get Mega Evolution and a Z move.
Well, it's the Z
That's-
move that you can only use once.
Yeah,
So-
but like
Yeah.
You get both.
having-
You get both at the same time. You know what I mean? It's like how with Mega Rayquaza you get an item and an evolution.
Yeah,
And
instead
so,
of like one or the other, you get both.
yeah, it's
And
the same
Psychic
with this
Steel,
one.
it's not very good.
Photon.
offensive
I'm looking. I
attacking.
looked it up. Photon Geyser, psychic move introduced in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, signature of Necrozma.
You can toggle. Yeah, that's the gimmick.
100. It's special. 100 power, 100 accuracy. Compares the user's attack and special attacks, and then deals damage to the target using
So yeah, it's
the higher
basically a mixed
stat.
move. So you can have so it can be physical if you have a high physical attack, especially if you have a high special attack. So it acts like a Z move without being a Z move, and then
Well,
it's
it
like
can
light.
be upgraded to the Z
Light-
move, light that burns the sky.
Yeah, that one.
Anime name right there.
it's Jesus.
It looks amazing.
Base
in
power
game.
200, accuracy always hits.
That is kind of a power disparity between 100 and 200, but
Accuracy is always hits. 200
it is psychic type, which
psychic
sucks,
move, special damage, ignores target ability.
Yeah, like
Oh my god.
but There's so many moves that do that now. In Balanced Tagmons, it's going to be kind of funny.
Pokemon has power creep.
I mean,
Slightly.
Well,
It's not as
the
bad
thing
as...
is, consider
Rayquaza.
consider if they do any balancing for Pokemon around an actual metagame, it's around VGC, and usually in VGC, legendaries are banned regardless of how strong they are. It's not like Smogon where it's based off of usage and something being banned to Ubers.
Even the mythicals rip.
Even the mythicals are not usually allowed in VGC.
It's so bad, too.
I'm
It's like-
surprised the Tapus are allowed in VGC.
they're kind of dominating, yeah.
well, Tapus
But-
and Ultra Beasts aren't legendary.
Well,
They
Ultra
are
Beasts-
legendary in the game, but they're not banned.
I don't count Ultra Beasts
So
as
are like the
legendaries,
legendary
'cause
dogs.
Ultra Beasts feel like they're just Pokemon from another
Yeah,
dimension.
exactly.
Yeah, but they're
Just Pokemon.
undefined egg group, and they
But
have 3
Ultra Beasts are
guaranteed
Pokemon
IVs.
from another dimension, and they're my favorite. So don't shit poke them.
Jeez.
There's a flexing buff mosquito.
Exactly.
I love him.
Exactly.
You know, they
But-
had like
but-
the little...
But the
Idea.
Tapus are deities. They're legendary Pokemon. Why are they allowed in the VGC?
Because it's like
'cause
catching
they
Suicune.
They don't
It's
have a legendary
nothing
base
special.
battle. They only have an Ultra
But they
Beast
have
base
an
battle.
ability that puts them way above everything else.
Yeah,
The
you know,
terrains are
Drizzle
stupid.
exists.
Yeah, but Drizzle doesn't give you like protection against all priority moves.
That's true. I
Well,
mean,
Like if the Primordial Sea is banned, but yeah. But it's 'cause it's
Yeah.
on a huge Pokemon. That kind of thing. It'll probably not be as broken.
Drizzle was technically banned from VGC until they slapped it on Politoed. So
And then they gave it to
That's-
Pelipper, and now it's all
but
over.
I mean, Tapu Lele isn't banned in Smiggin rules either, so
yeah,
not bad.
everyone's learned to work around it.
like,
People
But-
were so bothered by the anti-priority, and then they just stopped caring about it.
well,
It got-
I think the problem with VGC is having things that strong in a specifically small dex tends to centralize it a bit more.
Well, and now it's up to National Dex for 2018, so...
Oh, it is going to be a national dex?
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna get real
I mean,
interesting.
It's
in
gonna
general,
get
the
interesting.
official tournament rules are never that good.
I don't know. I like doubles. I'm fine with VGC. I'm fine. I especially like having a limited Pokedex to pick from for a tournament. But I don't like Smogon rules because they're basically
Singles.
oh
only.
let's just use fucking Metagross every single year. That's fun.
Well, Metagross is banned from OU, which is funny.
Wait, it actually
Deleted.
got pushed to
The
Ubers
Mega,
again.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
It
they
was
do
in
ban.
and out.
I mean, all of the good psychic Pokemon are banned from Monotype, which upsets me.
Oh, that's
Like,
a damn
Metagross
shame.
is banned, Medicham
The
is banned.
monotype bans are so silly. Like
Like,
Zapdos
Metagross
is
is
banned.
banned, Medicham is banned, Tapu Lele is banned. Like, that's like all of my favorites are banned.
Well, guys, I think we could probably talk about Pokemon for
For
forever at
10,000
this
years.
point.
It's been 3,000
Pokemon
Like,
years.
there's more things even I want to bring up, but we should probably move on because we're over 40 minutes in. We haven't gotten to our main bit.
That's right. This won't be too long, I guess.
I
If we
don't
can-
know.
If we can riff on SMW
Besides, Politoed isn't
more
even
than
the
20
best
minutes.
reviews
All right,
anymore.
let's shit on this video game.
Wait, I got Pokemon. everyone knows the best drizzle uses Pelipper now. It is
Whom?
Drizzle
Pelipper.
user Pelipper.
Pelipper has
Oh.
drizzle now. It's
Yeah.
actually really strong. Like,
Yeah.
It makes
He's a good boy.
Pelipper go from useless to have a job.
it's pretty
So-
great. It
Yeah, in Smogum terms, it
also
went from
makes
PU
Tor-
to
it
O.
also
Alright,
makes
alright.
Torturge go
I'm
from
banning
have a job to
Pokemon
useless.
talk. I'm
Kick
Pokemon
impetus.
talk is now on the ban list.
Oh, damn it.
Pokemon
Can you
Talk
kick someone from a call?
centimeters.
just for this episode. All right.
I can block impetus, but
No.
that doesn't really do much.
Doesn't help. So I don't know why this is called the main segment, since whatever, it's that far in. But we're gonna just talk. I guess we're gonna talk about Super Mario World a little bit, just a critique, the good and the bad, and stories of hacking stuff, I suppose. It's not going to
Game
be
is
anywhere near as interesting as what we've just
Pretty-
talked about, I'm sure.
pretty
It would
non-committal.
be nice to have a little ASM perspective or something.
That's pretty non-committal. Are you sure we don't want to go back to Super Pokemon?
Mario World Central or Mario Central.
Impetus.
Super Mario World the video game is held together with hopes, prayers, and duct tape. I have no idea how we managed to take this game and put things in it without it just exploding.
I mean,
Well, I'd say that the
Soya's
fact that
magical
it's-
niche.
Yeah. The fact that it's so early and so, like, simple has probably led to
Yeah, it's
us
like a good
being able to
template.
do all the stuff that we can do. Like, if we were to take... Like think about Yoshi's Island. It's a much more developed game, much more focused, etc. like that. It's... Obviously, we don't have as many people trying to do anything with it, but I get the feeling that it's not as flexible.
Yeah, even if you try.
Mm-hmm.
And like, well, you do the Super Metroid stuff. We've already talked about this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's similarly slightly inflexible in comparison.
There's actually
Oh, yeah.
some people have been putting
you
out
can
some
check out the
interesting stuff.
interview with Epi-Zero from last
And then there's like Donkey Kong Country, which is just next level.
And then Ivy just talked right over her plug
Yep.
for me. No, Impetus was saying that my staff spotlight goes into detail on some Super Metroid hacking. So
That's right. If you want to read up about that, there's screenshots too.
yeah,
little
I tossed a
panoramas.
couple in. But like, there is actually some more advanced Super Metroid hacking stuff going on lately. Like, there's this arcade version of the game that you can play where it just randomizes the rooms and gives you points based on how well you do and stuff like that, and just goes until you die. And I'm like, that's pretty
Fascinating.
awesome. Yeah,
I hear a police car in your background.
yeah, I can hear it too, but I live in a city, so that's not surprising.
Yeah. Or an ambulance, I guess. Well, that's
I don't
that.
know. Maybe they're coming to the building across the street from me, like they do every day. It's getting closer. I might be right.
It's the ROM.
Yeah.
It's the ROM hack police.
the
I'm so
LP. It's
sorry.
the LP
Uh-oh.
police.
They're
Oh,
gonna
no,
grab.
not again.
We've all downloaded a ROM once in our lives. Oh no.
Oh, I think.
Don't worry, I'm
passed.
in Canada. They're too lazy to enforce that here. Like, that's basically how the copyright goes. Is the RCMP said, we're not gonna really try to go out and enforce it because it's too much fucking effort.
Nice.
You just get a bunch of guys on horses breaking down your door.
They don't all ride horses.
Then why are they called the Royal Canadian Mounted Police?
Because they used to ride horses.
Okay, well they should change their name.
Do they
this
do
is
they
the Royal
ride like
Canadian
a different
Police.
animal now? Do they ride moose?
Oh, it is the fire people
Right,
came to the
moose.
building across the street from me.
Great success.
It's always here. Anyway,
At least they turned off the siren.
yeah. So
We were talking about flexibility.
We were talking about Mario. Yeah, flexibility of the podcast to go off topic.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about Mario. Yeah, it's just it's barely held together. I mean, it works. Games are only really meant to work as well as they are supposed to.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a whole bunch of weird oddities with Mario World, like the fact that the vertical levels don't work very well.
At all.
Or what is it? There's that weird, like, note block glitch where, like, if there's a note
Yeah.
block positioned in a specific XY coordinate or something, Ty? I forget what.
You just slip into a wall and die.
Yeah, something like that.
Nice.
There's that one where if you jump from the Yoshi onto the goalpost on Chocolate Island, it just messes the entire color palette of the overworld up.
Oh, that's
Like-
you also have to die, don't? Or no, it's the camera. The
camera,
fade
like,
out
it's
doesn't
like the
work
camera
properly.
position.
When it trims into the top of the screen and
Yeah.
like wraps around itself.
It's like stuff like that, like causing such a huge bug is kind of amazing.
I mean, those are just glitches.
It seems like
Kinda
such a
like
tiny
expect
thing.
them.
The vertical level stuff seems weird, though. The way
Yeah.
that it's like not really working.
Golly, why couldn't they just implement the freaking giant levels patch themselves back in '91?
But yeah. I mean, games again are made to work as well as they have to. Even though that means there are weird things like the Switch Palace corner tile that is actually an air tile that they just shove an invisible.
They could have just set it to act as.
Yeah,
but
it's
they
an
made
invisible solid
sprite.
block or sprite.
It's a sprite, yeah,
Yeah.
which then it messes with coin blocks. When you like bump a block and there's a coin on it, then it spawns that sprite or something.
It's funny. It's so
Oh,
weird
is that
that
what
it
that
exists.
sprite's? Oh,
I'm fairly
that's what
sure
that does.
that's the explanation.
Oh
But
my
that's
god!
just me guessing.
What is this game even made of?
Yeah, the coin interaction really bothers me.
Or let's see, it's like I just forgot it immediately. Perfect.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, my memory.
Early onset Alzheimer's.
Oh, damn it.
Ooh.
Yep, it's gone. Somebody cover for me.
Yep.
The old past exploit of jumping on from a vertical wall and using like that one pixel in the vertical wall to jump up.
Oh, yeah, like the clipping.
Yeah.
Wall jumping.
Wall jump, yeah, that's
collision.
Well, there's
referred
like-
to in the Kaizo community.
Well, there's like those random blocks that they have underneath the launch pipes, like the
Oh,
Oh yeah,
that
warp.
random
It's like
sprite.
a warp sprite
Yeah,
to
like
prevent
that
you from
warp
getting
sprite.
caught.
because if you go under the diagonal pipes, you'll
It's a
get
crush.
squished and die.
Yeah, you normally
Actually, I
get
don't
squished.
even think the diagonal pipes have proper collision.
I mean, that's good for Mario's safety, I guess.
I don't think they have proper collision because the upside down slope collisions don't exist in the general grassland tile set. But yeah, that's such
Yeah,
a weird.
I can't confirm this.
Such a weird sprite. I forgot that one even exists. I wonder if people have done stuff with
teleport
that.
sprite. I think I've seen it used.
Huh.
I mean,
I don't know
that's-
how it works out of context, but it gets real funky.
It's not even like you can touch it in actual Mario because they're always blocked off by other objects.
I mean, there's stuff that you only notice when you mess around with what's already in Super Mario World, like that auto scroll sprite that goes really fast.
That's what I was going to talk about. Yeah, the fast auto scroller.
Yeah, because that's not actually intended to be a fast auto scroller. It's a bug.
Hmm.
And so it slowly gets fast the whole time. I was messing around with it once. When it gets fast enough, firstly your jump height gets like higher when it's moving really quickly. Then you stop being able to jump. And then eventually the level will wrap around itself, so you can see the start of the level again once you get to the end of the screens. But you'll still get crushed as if there's an invisible wall there at the end of the level.
That's weird. I've never known that.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Oh,
I almost wonder if the reason why whenever someone tries to recreate Mario World's physics in like a fan game engine, the reason it always feels wrong is because there's not enough glitches.
Maybe.
What's
Like-
wrong?
Because something always feels slightly off, even though we know exactly how Mario works, we can look at the code. Something always feels very slightly off with whenever people try to do Mario World in an engine that isn't Mario World.
I got a physics quirk. Big Mario and Small Mario do not jump the same height if they are doing a running jump.
what?
Yeah.
How have I not been
Small
aware of
Mario
this?
can jump 6 tiles if you're doing a full-on running, like full
Yeah.
running jump. He can jump 6 tiles. Big Mario cannot.
I didn't know that. What the heck?
Yeah. I've encountered it in a few instances.
I mean, it begs the question why Super Mario Bros. 3 isn't more popular for level editing, in a sense.
It's because Fusoya didn't make a Mario 3 editor.
That is true, but
The answer to why isn't game more popular to modify than Mario World is simply because Fusoya didn't make an editor for it. Because the
But, I
fact
mean-
that Lunar Magic does all of its free space repointing automatically.
alright. I guess
Yeah,
better question.
Because
If there was a Lunar Magic for Super Mario Bros. 3, do you think more people would have Super Mario Bros. 3 or Super Mario World?
Maybe.
Super Mario Bros. 3.
I would want to see it be done for the GBA version because it includes all of the other e-reader level bits, which
So
were
GBA
full
is
of
more
stuff
like
from
SNES,
Mario
like
2,
hardware, so I can
Yoshi's
imagine
Island.
that'd be fun.
Sorry,
But like, I feel like 3 would still win out because it's got more sprite variety
It
and
might.
stuff. Plus, there's a lot of people who seem I always felt Mario World feels better to play than Mario Bros. 3, just the physics of it. But there's a lot of people who feel like Mario Bros. 3 is the best Mario's controlled in 2D. So I feel there's a lot of people who would design hacks for it because they feel that way.
I like Mario World and its air control better than like any of the other games. But I can see what people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
3's level design is also a bit stronger in places. Probably because the levels are shorter, honestly. They have a...
Or are we debating?
Hmm?
Are we debating 3 versus World?
I think
Maybe.
I think the levels in 3 have more variety to them.
By
I've been
virtue,
reading the
by
cutting room
virtue of
floor
having
page.
more levels, I think, more smaller levels, you can end up having that variety.
Collab makers, take note. More smaller levels.
The small levels help retain a focus in the level.
Well,
Yeah.
I know it sounds kind of weird to say that SMB3 has more variety in levels when Super Mario World has like so many different gimmicks with like the layer 2 moving and all that stuff.
Oh, sure. I mean,
But-
Mario World has stuff that takes advantage of like
The Super Nintendo,
Yeah.
basically.
even the All-Stars version of Mario 3 doesn't, because it's just
It's a port.
even
I
though
guess
it just
a lot
looks
of
nicer.
levels in Super Mario World end up having the same feel, or they feel like they're doing the same thing with different sprites.
Well, the design goals seemed different between Mario Bros. 3 and Mario World. Mario Bros. 3, you can take basically any level, and it will be focused like around one basic concept. Kind of like how you would see in more modern, like, New Super Mario Land and New Mario 3D World design.
Yeah.
Whereas in Mario World, there's a lot of building upon concepts that showed up earlier, like the spinning platforms show up a lot, but as you go through the game, they get spaced further apart. There's the spinning versions with only one platform. They go in different directions. Like, there's a lot of building upon that one idea throughout the whole game, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Mario World also has kind of less variety. Like, it focuses a lot on, like, the theme of the level for your variety. Like, Chocolate Island is nothing different than just a brown palette on a normal grassland.
True.
The big thing
But they have
is
Dino
the
Rhinos.
Dino Rhinos.
Yeah.
The theming of Chocolate Island to me is, 1, it looks like chocolate, 2, there's Dino Rhinos, and 3, there's some really weird levels there.
Yeah.
Like
The
stupid like
level
exits.
that makes no sense with Secret Exit.
The time coin
Yes.
level, yeah, that's a weird one. Or the one
But like
that you have to get the secret exit on.
or the cave one, which is a very up and down with the Mega Moles, whereas all the other caves are relatively straightforward
Yeah.
in the game.
And, I mean, I'm not saying Chocolate Island doesn't have variety in terms of, like, the level ideas. I'm talking, like, the way that they look, the specific ideas shown in, like,
There's
theming.
it's unlike say Mario Bros. 3, you go to the desert and there's quicksand. It's themed
Mario
around
World
being a
doesn't
desert.
even have a desert.
Mario World, the entire game is Tropical Island.
I mean, it has
Every
like,
level is Tropical
And
Island.
it doesn't even feel that tropical.
it has like 4 grassland worlds, 1 forest world, and 2 cave worlds.
Yeah.
And kind of a bridge.
It has
It's
got
it has
three
some
bridge
bridge
levels.
levels.
The cave
I
world.
love Bridge World.
The first cave world even has half of it outside.
The cave world has a level that is mushrooms in the sky. They really
in the
worked.
underground.
Yeah, in the underground too.
That's one of my
But it's
favorites.
at
I
nighttime.
love the
It's at nighttime, so
like-
it's dark and it's valid.
one concept I wanted to do was to go back and take a look at Mario World and do like a stronger theming like that, but keep the general overworld shape the same. So, like, your World 1, I would vaguely theme it off of Yoshi's Island the game.
I mean, I've always thought it would be interesting to, like, take all the stuff that we know these days and do, like, well, it's too late for the 20th anniversary, and it's too late for the 25th anniversary at this point. But, like,
gotta wait for the 30th now.
Some sort of, like, anniversary remake sort of thing to go along with it. But
that's sort of something I wanted to do, especially because I'm good at vanilla hacking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really good at vanilla hacking. You throw anything past custom music at me, and I start, like, you throw blocks and sprites at me, and I get confused.
The problem is, after a point, how much of it is going to be, like, are we getting change around the items and stuff like that? Or not the items, like the level design itself? Or are we just changing around, like, how it looks visually?
Yeah.
And at that point, is it really worth it? I mean, that's the question. Why bother remaking Mario World when you can just make your own thing instead? But I don't know. I mean,
why bother
community,
fixing...
The Super Metroid community has its Project Base hack, which is... It's the original game with a little bit more creative interpretation on some of the levels and rooms, but it's made as a base ROM to work off of. And it includes a bunch of patches and fixes and things like that directly into the thing, and comes in different versions. Heck, my hack is based off of one of the versions of that game. Because
I'd suggest if we did a base ROM like that for Mario World, we'd have to seriously debate a lot about what goes into it, a lot more than I guess Super Metroid community would have to.
Yeah, because it's a smaller community, so we can get away with doing whatever.
But also, there's some people, like, would you put SA1 in a Mario World base ROM? Because there's some people who
would debate.
would say it's necessary, and there's some people who despise the concept of using SA1 altogether because of various reasons.
Yeah.
I mean,
gotta have that slowdown.
SA1 is a real Super Nintendo chip. There's no reason
but
why.
It's also... some people would say, well, I'm going to argue if you're making a base ROM, people want to play it on their consoles. You have to consider that SD to SNES, the most common flash card for the Super Nintendo right now, only has MSU1 support.
Maybe
some people are going to argue
Super Effects.
Some people are going to argue that SA1 is a pain in the ass to work with if you don't know it already. Stuff like that.
What if you make Super Mario World with the Super Effects chip instead?
Then you're really going to piss people off.
Then what's the point?
Oh, the point is to make the Mode 7 Bowser fight. It's to put a background on it. There's your entire point.
Nice.
Like Super Mario World. Well, if it's just gonna be like an aesthetic remake, then there you go.
Well, I could see changing some levels.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few that are
like,
just kind of
the
there.
one, if you were going to start to change levels, I'd argue about more strongly theming the world.
At level, there's just nothing but jumping and dolphins.
Oh, keep that one. The dolphins
That's
are great.
okay, because it's kind of its own thing.
I'm also biased because I'm the weirdo that loves using Porcupuffer.
You're not the only person. You're not the only person that
add
loves
a
using
little-
Porcupuffer. Like, every single water level in Super Mario World Central Production 1 is full of Porcupuffers.
Maybe,
yeah, but they're all used badly.
Maybe I would add some more terrain to the level or expand upon it, because it's kind of... Yeah, I can see that.
I like the idea of dolphins and Porcupuffer as a theme. But, like, why the hell is that where it is?
Yeah,
why
it's just on top of the Vanilla
Why not
Dome.
use the sea mines? Everyone loves sea mines from that one level.
What I would argue is you would move that level concept over to Cookie Mountain and expand Cookie Mountain to be like Cookie Mountain, Butter Bridge, and Soda Lake. You have water and bridge
Mario
theme
World
levels
is
up
missing
there.
a lot of traditional level themes or world themes.
Yeah.
from
Rest in
Mario.
peace, desert.
There's no desert. There is no water world. There is
There's
no
There's
ice
no
world.
sky world.
Look, there are
There's
people
no
who are
fire.
sick of casino. There are people who are sick of casinos in Sonic. I'm sick of deserts in Mario.
I'm
Well,
just
true,
saying.
where's the
I'm just
lava
saying,
in
like
Mario
when it
World?
was made, there was it was not. 'Cause
Well,
as we said,
well,
it's
when
like
it was
foregrass.
hold on. Consider it was the fourth Mario game.
Yeah, but
The
Mario
only
3.
other Mario game that had level themes was Mario Bros. 3.
Yeah,
I
Mario
would say
1
two
did,
had
Mario
level
2
themes
did.
as well, if you count the
Two
American
kinda.
two.
It had two had snow, desert, and grass.
Two got more themes when it went to the.
Two also had cave.
Two
Yeah,
has
had more
as many themes as Super Mario World.
No, two got more themes when it went to All Stars because they were able to add backgrounds and stuff like that.
Yeah, that helped a lot.
Because then
I guess two
Sky,
also has the whales theme.
You had
but...
Sky, you had whales, you had the tropical background, the kind of like palm trees background that they had, jungle-y one.
But when it was on the NES, it was snow, fort, cave, desert, grass.
Yeah, but again, that was the second game, and it wasn't even a Mario game at first.
No, it was
so
it was a Mario game at first.
Well,
then it was Doki Doki Panic, and then it was Mario again.
But then in
little known fact,
three had.
But three was really strongly themed.
Actually,
each
your
world had a theme.
And I think that they kind of... I'm not sure why they didn't keep that as strongly in Mario World.
Because it was their first Super Nintendo game, probably.
the whole theme was dinosaurs. So
Yeah, actually.
there you have it.
Yeah.
You've got the dinosaur ghosts, you've got the purple stompy
Eries.
dinosaurs, you've got the rhinos that are also dinosaurs, the other rhinos that are also dinosaurs.
Good old Rex.
actually,
Reznor and Dino Rhino.
Yeah, they've got 3 of them. Wow.
I think Super Mario Land has more themes than Super Mario World,
Oh yeah, Mario Land is built around that too.
which came before Super
Mario
Mario
Land has
World.
4 worlds. How is this even... It's got 4 themes,
it's
4
got
worlds.
it's got Exploding Koopa's theme, it's got Moai Head theme, it's got Pyompi theme, and then it's got those weird
Freaking bamboo zone.
I mean,
pyramid
it has
levels.
a desert theme, a mushroom theme.
Mario World has a mushroom
The
theme.
Easter Island head theme. The bamboo theme. And
Yeah, we just listed them.
Yeah.
I guess the
Underground
thing
pyramid
is,
zone. Yeah.
I guess the thing is, Mario World has these themes. It's just unlike
They're
other
not
games
central.
where
They're not
they're
centralized.
they're just wherever they want to put it. Like Mario World has grassland, ghost house,
Athletic
cave,
mushrooms.
castle, mushrooms, ropes.
It does have ice.
Yeah,
Ice
the weird
is
ice
just a
pallets
palette.
that's
Ice
used
is
in like
just a
2.
palette.
Yeah, and it's only in like 2 levels.
But for backgrounds, it's got the hills,
The Rocky Hills.
the Yoshi's Island hills.
it has the star theme that it does anything with, which is kind of a shame.
The star theme is a little bit of nighttime, anything goes sort of stuff.
Good
It's
old.
mostly-
And then
Yeah.
Special World is completely random.
Well, Special World being whatever
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah.
That's how they do it in new Mario
Yeah,
games too.
Special World is always random.
It's just whatever cool levels they wanted to make that were either a bit out there or too hard for
Actually,
the making.
thinking about it, because I've replayed some of it recently. Mario 3D World doesn't really have strong world themes, even though the
No, it
world
doesn't.
map shows a world
Why-
theme.
Why do you think they called it World?
I mean, I guess.
Because
I guess. But like,
if
the
you
world,
think about
let's say there's-
NSMB games to me have always taken more after Mario 3 than they have World, and they always are fairly strongly themed.
Mhm.
Whereas New Super Mario 3D World, that's a mouthful.
it doesn't have a new on the front of it.
Oh, Super Mario, yeah, whatever. Super Mario 3D World
It will when they make a sequel.
Switch remake. yes.
has a weird amount of callbacks to everything except Mario Bros. 3.
Mhm.
It has callbacks
Other
to
than the
There's
art.
even Chucks.
Other than the art design.
like it has callbacks to Super Mario Bros. 2 US Doki Doki Panic. It's got callbacks to lots of callbacks to Mario World because it's got the Chucks, the Galoombas, it's got baseballs. It's just the
F-Zero is
general
right, 'cause
graphics
The
are
little
kind of
portraits are SMB3 style.
Yeah,
And they're very cute.
Yeah,
the 2D
but
art.
you could argue that's just classic Mario art because
Yeah.
between 2 and 3, that's what it started to look like.
Yeah. I was surprised as I was playing because I'm like in the middle of Ice World and there's like there's like 2 ice levels in the whole of it, even though the world is frozen.
Yeah, going into the desert and then being in this, like, purple cloudy level, I was like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, and then you got the double cherry level.
Oh
The
no,
double
double
cherry
cherry
level.
pass. Dude, I'm just thinking...
That's such a great power-up.
You take the cherry, and then you take your primary Mario, which the camera is focused on,
And then you
put
kill
him
him.
on a fence, and you walk him over the edge while the doppelganger is behind you safely. And after a couple seconds, the camera refocuses on the doppelganger, and you
And
successfully made a new Mario.
Their story for how that power-up came to be is, like, it explains why
bug, wasn't
Nintendo's games always work. No, it wasn't a bug. Someone literally said, hey, what happens if we put two player objects in the same level? And it turns out you could control them both, and when one of them died, they didn't game over because, there was still a player object there. So they're like, let's make a power-up that does that.
Because they already had multiplayer working, so you just do that with one person. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I do remember.
And then they
that
had whole
story.
levels to design around it. Dude, that one level where you try to maintain as many Rosalinas as possible. In my case, it was Rosalinas.
I'm still wondering though, like some of the stuff in Mario World, I'm wondering like how did they come up with a rhinoceros that sits on platforms and spits fireballs at you?
And is named after Trent Reznor.
Is that the actual names?
Yes,
all of them.
That was a localization thing.
Yeah, localization.
That's true. Yeah,
all of the Koopa kids are named after
famous musicians. And
obviously,
then Reznor was named after Trent Reznor.
Yeah.
I mean, this is back on the topic of like level themes. I think what makes Super Mario World feel like it's got so few level themes is because it overuses them. Because like especially at the beginning of the game where you're like, oh, I've just gone from one grassland to another grassland. And it's like, oh, a cave, that's different. Except half the cave levels are in grasslands on the outside of the cave.
I think
and then the next
like
world,
not enough pallets.
The next world is more grassland, and then
I think the other problem is, well, one, they didn't have an actual mountain tile set. Otherwise, the vanilla secret stuff probably would have used the mountain tile set. But the other thing is, why is that vanilla secret not just part of Cookie Mountain?
I agree with Ivy about pallets and stuff like that too, because so many levels use the 105 ground palette.
Well, let's open.
And the cave pallets are all the same.
The cave pallets, I think, like two
almost
or
always.
three. They have like two or three pallets for caves, excluding the ice because it's used once.
There's the gray cave, there's the brown cave, and I think there's gray cave 2.
I don't know if Gray Cave 2 is ever used.
And they never use the translucent level modes.
You see, half the palettes
been fun.
work because of the way that they built their stuff, but I think a lot of them are just like... They just happen to work because they were made for other tile sets.
The problem is, Super Mario World by default only has 7 palette sets. Well, 8, yeah. Because it counts from 0. You've got 0, which is 105. 1, which is that weird green that I think only Yoshi's Island 3 uses. 2, which is... I don't even know where 2 is used. 3 is ice.
I don't even remember the order these are in.
3 is one of the caves. 4 is the brown that's used for a cave and Chocolate Island.
And probably
5 is ice.
The cave and fortresses were able to
6
be...
is that weird-ass green. And 7 is that weird...
Purpley?
The weird green is only used
once
in Star World, isn't it?
They could have had like a jungle set.
Vanilla Secret, level 1.
The green?
Yeah, level 1.
Oh yeah, it is. It's also used in Star World 2. The
level 1, the level whose gimmick is
yeah.
entirely just that there's Koopas everywhere.
Jumping Koopas everywhere. On slopes.
They hop.
Yeah.
And then halfway through it's bombs falling from the sky for some reason. What a weird level.
Yeah. It hadn't really gotten to that point of like where Nintendo goes and does a gimmick, is content to use it in one level and then like never does it again. But there were still some instances of that. Like
I do really like the idea of building these gimmicks up over the course of a game, though.
Yeah. I mean,
'Cause
I'll say
that-
it too.
if you have a gimmick in one level, this causes a problem in the new Super Mario Bros. Games where they all start to blend together because the challenge never really escalates.
Mhm.
Each level is so focused on its one gimmick, it has to introduce its gimmick and then use it, that you never get that gimmick again later, but harder.
It does feel a bit weird that they don't use some of these things. They're so creative, and they're used for just one level sometimes.
Like, why
Yeah,
were
even
there
in the
giant...
newest games.
Yeah.
Why were there giant bullet bills in only one special world stage?
It was a great surprise, let's be
Yeah,
honest.
it was a great
There were
surprise,
The King Bills.
Oh, yeah.
The King
but
Bills.
the
Oh, man, I
absolutely
haven't even
massive
played that
bonsai
game.
bills. Or those big square platforms that were just rotating. It's like, why are those only used once?
Or,
Those are such a simple idea, they could be used elsewhere, too.
It did reuse the beat blocks
yeah.
in Mario 3, yeah.
The no, what was it? It was in New Super Mario Bros. Wii. They were a bit gimmicky, but they were the tilt platforms. So you had to stand on and tilt your Wiimote to move them around and stuff like that.
Yeah, they were cool.
They were neat.
But they were used so infrequently.
They were only used in one level.
I guess I didn't. I guess I
there was
didn't
a
really
couple-
like
there were a couple
complain
different
that
types
they
of
were
tilt
putting in too much Wiimote stuff. Like, oh, you're shoveling Wiimote controls in.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I'm just talking about the concept of the platform was pretty neat. Mario World is good. It's still fun to play, but I mean there are some levels that I barely remember, like Chocolate Island, the one where you start the level and there's a bunch of enemies inside brown blocks and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only thing I can remember
Easy
about
to
the
recall.
start of that level.
I remember
the rest
the
of
one
it.
with I remember the one with the spinning platforms, because that's, I think, where they stop using the triples and start using the singles.
Can anybody remember?
And
Can
because
anybody tell
the
me what
secret
the chocolate secret was? I can't remember.
Oh, the chocolate secret, isn't that the cave with the blargs and the punchucks?
Maybe, or is that Valley of Bowser?
No, that's
There were
in Valley
two
of
of them.
Bowser. That's in Valley of Bowser, but it's a chocolate secret.
Oh, yeah, because there's two secret exclaves in Valley of Bowser.
Because there's a donut secret, which is the ice cave.
And the Valley Fortress is the one with the crazy Layer 2 smashers, isn't it?
Valley Fortress is the one with the pencils. Oh no, Valley Fortress is the crazy Layer 2 smashers.
It's Wendy's Castle has the pencils.
Chocolate Fortress is the pencils and the
Wendy's
lava that
Castle
looks like
also
hot
has
chocolate.
smashers, but it's just they're not as fast.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can never remember which one is which on between Wendy's and Valley Fortress and stuff like that.
Frankly, I can't tell the fortresses in Mario Bros. 3 apart, because that's where their theming starts to get weaker, because there's only so much you can do with them. And
The Fortress in 3 have a problem in that their tile sets are extremely limited too.
I like the one I remember is the stupid one with the P-switch puzzle with all the doors, because that inspired an entire 4 years of shitty Mario World
The
levels.
one I remember is the one where you have to fly all the way up and live long enough with a feather, and then you get
Yeah.
or the leaf. Yeah.
I mean, you'll find all sorts of weird stuff in the older Marios, certainly.
And I guess it's also worth saying no game's ever going to be designed perfectly. It's impossible to do it. Like, one thing, a lot of people, even if you make a Mario game that's strongly themed and it can build on gimmicks, people are still going to say, oh, it's like New Super Mario Bros. Each level's got its own theming.
I feel like
It's
that's
like,
probably
people are-
the stronger
there's some-
way to build
Some
levels.
people are getting sick of that, though. And I'm like, I don't... It's...
I
Yeah.
mean, I don't like levels that play themselves. I think I already mentioned that on the level design episode. But
I feel like auto scrolls have a good potential for some really tight design because you can always time everything properly using an auto scroller, but they're not as fun to play, especially if you die. So
I mean, if you
it's a
just
hard
stick
balance.
auto scroll onto a ramp level, and it's a bit pointless.
Yeah, it's you gotta have a good reason to use an auto scroller, not just the reason to use an auto scroller is because you have a bunch of elements that you want to time perfectly, not just because.
I mean, to
I've
be
been
fair,
guilty of
in
that
Super
before.
Mario World's case, there's a lot of stuff that you want to time. because depending on when a sprite loads onto a screen, they can be at completely different positions.
Yeah.
If
It's kind of funny.
that's another thing, why do some sprites in Mario World just not spawn if you're going in one direction?
Oh gosh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Chainsaws. Spike tops. Spike tops are totally
Anything
broken.
line guided.
If spike tops do not work in vertical levels, straight up, they will not
They
spawn.
just die.
And this is stuff like I'm wondering how people haven't fixed this yet.
I
And
think
then I
they
remember,
have.
oh yeah, the problem is like 90%. It's the camera code, from what I understand. Because like I've always wondered why no one's gone and made like vertical wrap that is actually decent. And then it turns out the game just can't handle Mario being off screen horizontally. It's like, what?
Yeah, because he never goes right up against the sides of the screen. He's always got that like
No.
half block.
Yeah, so that's why the vertical wrap kind of teleports you back and forth, and it's so jarring.
Mhm.
The horizontal wrap works fine because you can go off the bottom and tops of the screen.
You'd have to recode how the game handles side collision, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Or you'd have to
And-
make use
Very
of
invasive.
the side exit sprite or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is just strange to even think about.
Yeah,
I'm not very well versed in the technical side. I don't know ASM at all.
me neither.
It's like, rip.
Same.
We got like a guest on here who's like knowledgeable on ASM and can like totally school us. Get blinded to
I think Urson said that he'd volunteer for something like that. If we
Oh
do
yeah, I can see her son.
do an
Yep.
the ASM episode.
Yep.
Please come on and explain to me how this shit works.
Yep.
What is
Why
an
does Spike
ASM?
Tops not?
What is ASM stand for?
Like, I know x86 assembly, I know Spark assembly, but
Get that shit out of here.
I don't know any of these freaking low level programs. I barely even know how to do freaking Java, so it's like I'm a boy learning things right now.
Well, does anybody else have anything to add on our random Mario World talk that was maybe good and maybe okay?
I was going to add
Somewhere
a lot
between good and
more,
okay.
but I got distracted halfway through because apparently someone messed up the build on a Minecraft server that I'm running off my PC.
Nice.
So I had to like try to put like a backup up, and then because I was distracted, I didn't make a copy of the world that was fucked up. So I just
Oh,
put
no.
the backup over the other world, and now there's like a lot of lost build stuff.
Great.
And I was like trying to
Let's
do
deal with the fallout.
It's like you see worse now.
It's their fault for bugging you.
Well,
Yeah. Do not disturb. Read.
rest in pieces, I guess.
I guess.
well,
Well,
I mean, rest in cubes.
rest in cubes. It's true. Everything's a cube.
Everything is a cube except modded stuff, which for some reason has a bajillion polygons.
Oh yeah,
My
Draconic
frame rate.
Evolution, isododecahedron.
It clashes so hard.
Anyway, I think we're probably about done here.
We did some
So-
talk.
That was robust.
I can't believe we.
I like
we
feel
murdered-
tired.
For going into this, to the thing, not really knowing what the heck we were going to talk about related to Mario World, I think we did okay.
Yeah.
I
Enough
wanted to be on
rambling.
here because you were planning this. And I'm like, I just want to dunk on the game.
Do you feel like
Super
you've done
Mario
enough
World
dunking?
is a terrible game. Level design is the worst of all of the Mario games. It's
Oh,
worse
no.
than Hotel Mario.
Eh.
And the
I
people who write these long essays on how Super Mario World is the best Mario game with the best level design, and like overanalyze finding all of the Fibronconi
Well,
numbers
like-
in Super Mario World's level design, they're talking out their ass.
I think
It's
you
like
could
average.
probably.
It's definitely not the best Mario game.
Oh yeah, no, but you
Bullied.
can take lessons from its level design on things other Mario games don't do that Mario World does better. Like I said, certain challenges that are introduced early in Mario World keep showing up and getting harder throughout, whereas other Mario games would just drop that challenge and you never see it again.
I mean, I guess, but it depends on the way you look at that. Because
Most
if
of
you're
this
like,
was insincere.
if you're like saying like
But
if the platform, if the challenge is a single obstacle, then you can say, well, that obstacle is the platforming challenge. And it's not like it's not like other Mario games have like one level which has a platforming challenge, and then no other levels
but
have a platforming
I'm
challenge.
talking like Mario World introduces Sinking Layer 2 and then it brings Sinking Layer 2 back a couple times. Whereas in Mario 3, they introduce those weird-ass spinning platforms. I think they only come back once and they're not even a threat the second time they come back.
Yeah, I get that. I guess.
Got the evil spinny things.
I mean, I don't think it has to be the same obstacle to be like doing the same challenge.
Big Bertha recurs.
Like, I think you can progress platforming challenges without reusing the same obstacle. But I guess it depends on like.
I like to see challenge progression on a more macro scale than individual levels, and especially this is less a problem in some of the other Mario's, but especially a problem in the new Super Mario Bros. Games. They just don't do it as much, or if at all. Like there's
a lot of the gimmicks, like moving layers, are just ever present now. They become more ubiquitous.
I guess
that too. I guess like the
something that would have been novel in the SNES is now just day-to-day stuff.
Think about the difference between a 3D Mario and a 2D Mario. In New Super Mario Bros. Wii, I think it has the Skull Coaster at the end of World 8.
Yeah. That
never shows up in any other level. If that was a 3D Mario game, it would have been in the Special World at some point. It would have been in like a grand challenge course, and you have to ride a crazy Skull Coaster. You know? And that's something that I feel like a lot of the other 2D Marios do way weaker than Mario World, is they just put those challenge in one place, never use it again.
The thing is, if you start thinking of New Super Mario Bros. Wii and U together on a macro scale, then you've got instances of that stuff.
But it's not
the same. It's not the same.
It's not the same because
the same game.
Especially, it starts to feel like more like U is just retreading the same ground more than like.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
I mean, I haven't played U, but I played the 3DS one and the Wii one. And I guess
the 3DS one's not good.
I like the 3DS one.
Well, not great. It's.
Are we talking about Mario 2 or New Super Mario Bros. 2, or are we talking about?
Yes, New Super Mario Bros. 2.
Okay.
It's kind of average to me because
I liked it more than Super Mario World.
I haven't played it, so I don't have an opinion to give on it.
I mean, I guess I'm just different in that I prefer having having a new gimmick each level, rather than having the same gimmicks get harder over the course of the game.
It's not necessarily that. It's just like Super Mario World. I will agree it doesn't have enough in it, but at the same time, I feel like there's a middle ground between reusing the same thing over and over and over again and never using something more than once. You know, there's a middle ground, and Mario games tend to go one way or the other and never hit.
I don't mind when things are only really used once. Like, I'm pretty cool with gimmicks just coming once.
But the problem is, it starts to reflect on the level design where they have to introduce it safely, and they don't entirely have time to flesh out the gimmick all the way.
Like the roller coaster level in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, that wouldn't have been as good if there were 3 roller coaster levels in the game.
Well, what if there was only 2 though? I would be fine with 2.
Yeah, I think it was better as just one. Just as a one-off. Whoa, you're on a roller coaster now. That's pretty cool.
Well, I was thinking say Grand Master Galaxy or a challenge like that, just having a roller coaster segment in the middle of it.
I guess. Oh, this was the
because Funky. I feel like if we're gonna talk Mario World, Funky does not deserve to call me a super player for just getting through a level that's got some Sumo Bros.
Well, first appearance. It also has the timer.
It's got.
I would. If we were to do a remaster of Mario World, I would build Funky
to be a final challenge.
If you do a remaster of Mario World,
to encompass a lot more from the whole game.
If you do a remaster of Mario World, basically make one of the grasslands tropical rather than grassland. Have the other one
Yoshi's Island.
Grassland.
Donut Plains is a regular grassland. Yoshi's Island is the tropical one.
Yeah.
Everything at Vanilla Dome is all caves. Get rid of that mushroom level.
Yeah, make the mountain one actually a mountain.
Put Vanilla Dome 4 outside on the mountain, on Cookie Mountain or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Then
Chocolate
add
Island can be a kind of like
No,
a
no.
mix. Well,
fuck it.
Yeah.
Make Chocolate Island a radish world. I need more of those radishes.
Okay, so here's
I think
the
his
other idea,
bias is
right?
showing through.
So go have split paths, split worlds. So change the star world into its own world. Have like an actual like star themed world. And have a water world. Because everyone likes water worlds. Then you have your split paths.
You have that ocean. You have that ocean in the middle of Dinosaur Land that has
With one soda
level
lake in it. It's not even a
got
lake. It's a
torpedo
lagoon.
tents.
It's a lagoon.
It's got torpedo tents. That's the whole world. It's torpedo tent.
No.
Torpedo Ted
And then just
Sunken
change
Ghost
the
Ship.
palette on the
Don't forget
Bowser.
about the Sunken Ghost Ship.
Change the palette on Valley of Bowser to be redder. And then that's about all you
I-
gotta do.
I-
Make it more igneous.
See,
Make-
here's the thing. I'm
Remake
not
Valley
against
of
Valley
Bowser
of
as a
Bowser.
volcano world. Like,
Well, I'm not against Valley of Bowser having multiple level themes in it, but it sure needs more lava.
Yeah.
remake it as a volcano world, not as a cave world.
Well,
A cave,
a volcano
cave
world,
with a-
but I like.
Actually,
It's like Vanilla Dome 2.
I really liked the having the weird colored mushroom math platform level in Valley of Bowser.
Yeah, that was wacky enough. It was very neat.
But all you have to really do is put like volcanoes in the background, and suddenly it fits way better.
Or put a lava floor because it's whatever. You're gonna die from falling off anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, I think we should probably go ahead and give it a
That
call
was
it
a
here.
lot more robust. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to figure out a way to like cut down the site news. We should just go through a list in the future instead of having all of this input that we do.
actually,
It took us like
Yeah.
20
Probably,
minutes.
maybe, yeah, because people go for that. And they're like, alright, got my news.
I got one
Yeah.
more thing to say about Super Mario World. This is the biggest nitpick ever. But you know how with Valley of Bowser you go underground? You go into the mouth of Bowser, which leads
Oh, and the
underground
sky
into
is a
the cave
nighttime
area.
sky.
Yeah, why is there a sky with lightning underground? Someone explain
Because
this to me.
Bowser
It's
likes
a
lightning.
theater screen.
Okay, if Bowser can capture fairies to build an amusement park in their home world, if Bowser can he
He's
installed
powerful.
lightning. He installed lightning into that cave.
Yep.
Just 'cause he wanted it for that fight.
1,000 Goombas like pushing one of those like wooden turn things to power the sky.
it's No, it's just a big drum and a floodlight that keeps getting turned on and off.
And with that,
Oh.
I think we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, everybody.
Wind it down, boys.
Wind it down.
Bowser's Coney Island Disco Palace in a
Yeah.
cave with lightning.
Good.
Underneath Coney Island.
So nice of Bowser to invite us to his amusement park. Hey, Luigi.
I can't believe Bowser's capturing all those wisps.
All right. Thank you all for
Oh.
listening. I guess we're gonna
Thank you
get
so
on.
much.
Guess we're gonna
Thanks
get
for
out of
listening
here.
to us rant like idiots.
Yeah. So
Our outro just says outro, so there you have it.
Yeah.
That's an outro.
we'll see
Yeah,
you
there's the
guys.
outro. Bye.
We'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.
Adios.
Bye.
Uh.